Hey everyone, how's it going? I hope you're doing good. And for those of you who are new here, my name is Jacob Williams. I am a professional music producer and composer, and today we're going to be reacting to a very much highly anticipated album that you guys want me to check out. We absolutely loved checking out Oil of Every Pearl's Uninsides. Man, was that really almost like 2 months ago now? That is insane. I mean, that just feels like forever ago. Where we face shopping, Pony Boy, I mean, you name it. There's so many great songs on there, and we really paid a pretty good tribute, I would say, to Sophie's legacy with that video, and I had an absolute blast jamming that with you guys. In fact, I think we did that with my old setup in here. So now we got some new energy going. We got even some new people have kind of come from that community and have been wanting me to check this out. So we're going to be diving right into it shortly here. And before we do that, what I like to do is I like to go take a listen to these songs, and I'll pause whenever I hear something incredible or something that is of note that I want to kind of let you guys know what's happening in it, or something I kind of want to dissect or talk about with each track. And that's pretty much how I've done all my videos on this channel so far, and you guys seem to like it, so we're going to keep doing it that way. Before we jump right into this 11-track potential monster full of bangers, let's give some love to our patrons over on Patreon. These people are so great, and they have literally given just direct support to this channel in terms of giving me more power to give you guys better content every week. So give them some love. Without further ado, let's just pop some headphones on and jump right into this album. Oh. Okay. Oh. Loving the very zippy synths kind of just going all over the mix right here, and that classic EDM-ish vocal just kind of pacing itself in the back of the mix, waiting to just peak up over the song's energy so far.
I can make you feel better.
Nice. Ooh.
Whatever you're thinking, I can make it all clearer.
So the same sort of like riffage is kind of being put on loop for the instrumentation behind the vocal. But what's really cool, and what I'm finding really interesting about this segment is you have that little vocal hook chop thing that was happening towards the end of those bars. Now we've progressed, and more of the vocal hook is being displayed to us, which is kind of nice because it feels more like a featured vocalist than it does a sample.
Feel better if you let me. I can make you feel better if you want to. I can make you feel better, and you know you will. And you know where to find me. So
Two things. There is a buildup of 808s happening instead of like a rising buildup of kicks, which we normally hear in EDM and dubstep and stuff like that. Since this is more of an avant-garde, like experimental type of space, we're hearing more unconventional sounds being used in place of like a normal, where like a kick drum would go typically. And also there's like a whiny thing, like a whiny synth kind of going with the bass line, but it's doing like the way higher notes. Like if your bass is down here, you got the high sine wave thing just like way up here in the heavens, just kind of whip, 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 going up and down with the melody that the bass is doing against everything. Ooh. Oh, things are going to get hype.
you gotta be crazy. Thinking you can resist, yes, you know you can't help yourself. I bet you can't take it. Yeah, if I could just see you try, you should try. If you don't, you might never know how it tastes so good. Sweet like whipped cream, soft and smooth. You found in your dreams, whatever your heart desires. What you need, if that's what you want, boy, then
Oh.
you know where to find me.
So cool. So we're getting a little bit of that EDM influence in there, where the mid instruments, like the mid frequency instruments, cut out and it's just bass, kind of acting like, in a way, kind of an older dubstep bass drop from, I'm talking before the 2010s boom of bro step and stuff like that, like the older types of dubstep bass drops that you'd hear from like the mid 2000s.
If you let me, I can make you feel
Okay, we're ducking down the energy now. So now that main like sort of hooky EDM pop experimental thing has kind of died down now, and everything's kind of tucking into the atmosphere. I wonder if Sophie's gonna put some sort of like big slapping metallic synth B-side sort of, or B-section sort of drop thing here, or if it's just gonna transition into the next track. I have no idea. We're gonna find out right now. Oh, I like that little counter melody back there. Bum, ba-da-dum, bum, bum, ba-da-dum, bum, bum. It's just like a little saw synth back there. Ooh. And then the whiny thing from earlier is now doing the same melody that the counter melody is doing, but way higher to still stay in that high whiny register. Ooh. Little ear candies on the left and the right. Oh. Nice that little slide thing too. Ooh, hear that? The little like it's like almost a very inaudible tone. It sounds more like a texture. It's like a clanky sort of thing in the higher parts of the mix right there. Oh yeah, they're like chimes. What is that? Ooh. One thing that I find so interesting about Sophie's sound, and I don't know if I touched up a whole lot on it in my video I did on Oil, but what I really like about it is it's music that's meant for the club, but it's very hollow. Like there's a lot of like intentional frequencies left open, and I have no idea why that is. Like it's not like a full wall of sound, right? Some of her things are like obviously Face Shopping just covers the whole spectrum, but when it comes to some of the like other songs that she does, there's a lot of moments that have a lot of gaps in the frequencies, and it's obviously intentional, right? Because Sophie knows that music typically has like a huge spectrum of sounds that's just begging to be filled with mixes, but it's like you listen to it, at least songs like this, and you're begging for just a little more frequencies in the upper range, but it like feels complete because it's almost like the ear candy that she puts in it just still tickles your brain in the same ways without needing to have the full wall of sound completed, if that makes any sense. I know I just kind of went on a bit of a tangent, but that's sort of what songs like this are kind of making me think when I hear it. Let's move on to track 2, shall we? ELLE. Ooh, okay. I'm listening. You have my attention. Oh, the water droplets. Loving it. Ooh. Very retro drum hits paired with these booming 808s and these crazy like yipe samples on the left. I actually have a couple sounds from the Sophie sample pack on Splice that have that like yipe kind of quality to it, or like that metallic like whoop. And I've used it in a couple of my songs. Like it just sounded so abstract. Nice. Ooh, those hi-hats. Happening right there with the hi-hats is something really cool. I do it in a lot of productions, even top 40 like pop productions, like when we try to strive for like big sounds like Taylor Swift, Sabrina Carpenter, Gracie Abrams. This is something that I use even in those kind of records where you have a sound consistently playing at a certain speed, and you run it through a panner or tremolo, or you even just manually adjust the pan yourself using automation, and you start it from one end of the stereo spectrum and it travels all the way to the other side of the stereo spectrum, so right to left or left to right. What that does is it creates a sense of movement in the mix, but if it's way obvious like this, like if it's not a very subtle effect and it just obviously goes left to right, it makes it feel like the sounds are moving in the back of your head. Oh, nice samples. Very evil sounding harmonic, dark, minor stuff right there, people. Maybe even chromatic. It sounds very chromatic. Lots of half steps happening here in that melody. Ooh. Sophie's over here conducting a symphony. We got these like kind of like opera vocals happening on the left, and then we got these like string-ish sounding synths kind of taking the main melody, and then booming 808s kind of acting like the timpani in an orchestra. Like it feels like an electronic experimental avant-garde orchestra. Ooh, we're filling things up. Oh, I love that. I love that. Oh, it's built. Is it building? Sophie was an incredible sound designer. I mean, like these whistly, like sort of bendable noises are so hard to make. Like you have to really run it through a lot of post-processing, or just be really good at kind of routing sine waves into different like effects channels and stuff. I personally love this. I think it's very interesting. It's very pleasing to my ears. I can literally sit here and just go, oh my gosh, I'm in outer space, or I'm just somewhere else. Like this is like a rave on like Saturn or something, you know? It's like, oh, now it's going left to right. Right to left. Oh, the last two noises in that fill were reversed. That was really cool. Ooh. Okay, so this is the same avant-garde experimental orchestra part that I was mentioning before with the different parts, but now we have a new element introduced, which is that synth pad that's kind of rising up in the background. More drums too. Everything's coming together. Oh, final build up here with the crazy, like, thick metal synth thing. Oh. All kinds of noises happening here. Build. Oh, that's such a cool counter melody back there. It makes the song feel more big and melodic, because before, remember I was saying it felt like really dissonant, kind of evil sounding. Now we're getting these like really cool sort of counter melodies going bum 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 bum, like little triplet dotted eighth things happening right there. Yeah, there it is. Oh, so nice. Nice. I didn't even notice that bass building up right there. Into a very scary drop into nothingness. That was cool. When I'm so distracted by other noises, I don't even notice like a really important one rising up there, like that bass sense just kind of eating up the rest of the track. That was really, really cool. And another thing I wanted to point out, that melody that I called very dissonant and had a lot of half steps, so it felt more peaceful and more melodic towards the end. Kind of interesting how that works, right? Because we have more peaceful instruments, and because it's not as hollow, because that like melody wasn't solo, it wasn't the only thing happening like it did in like the previous drop or hook section. It felt less evil and dark. It felt actually more beautiful. It felt more complete, whole. You know, like it had more positive emotions tied to it than it did like creepy or negative or weird out there kind of vibe. So that was really interesting. Let's move on to track 3, Lemonade. Ooh. This should be called Popcorn instead. Ooh. Brain tickle noises.
Lemonade,
Oh.
lemonade. Lemonade.
This is gonna be a banger, you guys. I can tell already. The 808, the ear candy, the popping noises, the hook.
Lemonade.
Lemonade, lemonade.
Lemonade. Lemonade.
Oh,
Lemonade. 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 Lemonade.
Lemonade. I got something to tell you. Hope you'll understand. I never meant to hurt you. Wasn't in my hands. It's just that when I'm with you, everything's okay. I get that fizzy feeling, and I want lemonade.
this is so sick. This is awesome. So what ended up happening there was we had this like I said, the build up, like it felt like it was gonna be a hype track, right? Like it was gonna be like boom, 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 lots of 808s, lots of trap, right? Kind of like Face Shopping or Pony Boy off of the last Sophie album. Instead, we got blown by these like crazy saw synths and more like of a hyper pop kind of hook, if you will. A lot of major melodies, a lot of stuff like that. A lot of pop elements, maybe a little bit, but only 10% of myself was. The rest of me was going like, oh, this is gonna be trap banger. This is gonna be like Pony Boy 2.0.
Lemonade.
Like this.
Lemonade. 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 Lemonade.
Oh.
Lemonade.
Candy boys, candy boys. Candy boys, candy boys. Candy.
What's making this hit so hard to me, to what I'm hearing, is the rising 808. So that 808 doesn't just hit on the downbeats and that's it. There's like another 808 below it going boo, boo, before the next one. So you're having the rise in that frequency and the lows in that frequency. Is just almost like an ocean of bass, if you will. And then everything else is kind of keeping your attention rhythmically instead of what would be there in like a metronome or a hi-hat. Instead, you're having all these like little pops come in and they're actually playing a melody. They're not just rhythmic. They're actually very tonal. You can, if you sit here for a while, you'll hear like the keys that they're hitting.
Candy boys, candy boys. Lemonade. Candy boys, candy boys.
It's getting heavier, you guys. It's getting more layers. We're getting more like texture added to the 808. There's more like other synths on top of it that are doing the rising and fall effect. And we're getting more drums in the mix. What I love and absolutely adored about Sophie's music on the other album, and what I'm also hearing on this, is she doesn't just throw drums in there just because. Drums are more of like a rare, like, if I feel like giving you a full banger, then you'll have it. When you withhold from putting something in your song, like if you tease the audience enough, when you actually give them the thing they want, which is like a full textured beat or like a bass drop, it feels more special. It feels important.
Candy boys.
Ooh. Rhythmic change up at the end right there.
I got something to tell you. Hope you'll understand. I never meant to hurt you. Wasn't in my hands. Just that when I'm with you, everything's okay. I get that fizzy feeling, and I want lemonade.
That song had like 3 choruses. It wasn't even like any verse. It was literally just all hooks. So that was kind of cool. It was really nice getting sort of the dark banger side of Sophie's music that I expected, as well as the immaterial candy pop kind of vocals. That's definitely a favorite for me. Let's move on to track 4, Hard. What do you guys think? Is this gonna be a banger? I don't know. We're gonna find out.
Hard, latex gloves, so hard. PVC, I get so hard. Platform shoes, so hard. Tiny towel, yank so hard. Threat, party so hard. PVC, I get so hard. Platform shoes, so hard. But it's just so hard.
That is the coolest way to run percussion. Like taking percussion instruments or like just hits of stuff. It sounds like she hit like a bunch of cardboard boxes and recorded them with a really good microphone and just like micro edited them across the whole track. Like that's kind of how it feels. But using them to kind of between the panning to like almost feel like someone's crawling in your brain, right? Before each bass drop is really neat. You almost picture like trap chants in the back going, hey, 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 hey. Awesome. That was such a cool beat break right there. That was amazing. I just loved how playful it was and all the little samples jumping around. Let's see how it keeps going. Ooh. I take back what I said about accessible. That was just rad. Like I don't even have like words for what that is, because it's got a nice pop touch to it. It's got it almost like makes fun of pop music in a way, right? Like it gives you this like crazy sort of riffage with the bass and all the percussion instruments, and then it's just like pop.
Hot, I get so hot. Hot, I get so hot. I just get so hot. Patent boot, so hot. Silicon, skin so hot. Ponytail, get so hot. Do I make you proud? I tried so hard. Rubber doll, I'm so hot. PVC, I get so hot. Latex gloves, so hot. Platform shoes.
So there's so much happening with all these samples, but what I will say about them is the way that they're mixed is very tight compression. Lots of like low attack, or lots of like fast attack, slow release. That way the compression just hits very hard on everything. Vocals feel like they're in the mix, but also like they could be outside of it. So that way it feels maybe like a sample. And just the nonstop energy. It is just chock full of energy.
Party so hot.
Oh yeah, that's synth. That's synth.
So hot. Rubber doll. Latex gloves, so hot.
That felt like a record scratch, but we know it's Sophie's typical like whoop 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 whoop, whoop kind of like metallic sound design.
PVC, I get so hot. Platform shoes, so hot. But it's just so hot. So hot. So hot.
Oh. We've dropped like all major key tonality, and it's now like pure minor, harmonic minor, even like leaning just a little bit dissonant on some of those half steps there with the synth. And I'm loving those just big blasts of low saw synths. They just fill up the mix so nicely. They actually cover up a lot of mid and high range action while also just giving you a lot of low end. So I'm a big fan of saw synths because they're good mix filler. Regardless of your genre, they literally fill out your mix. That was so much rhythm. Like undeniably really, really great rhythm. That was a lot to listen to. Like, I'm literally trying to understand. You have those like crawling in your head things. Then you have like the push-pull saw synth. You have the 808. And then you got these like swirling things. But like the melodic element, like if we just take the melodies that are happening in the song, the like chords that are happening in the song, and put them on anything else, it would feel like an R&B song, or it would feel like just really hard trap, like hip hop song. But because they're made with Sophie's such intricate and attention to detail sound design, it feels like something different, something experimental, which is I think the main genre that we agreed that this music is. It's very experimental, very avant-garde, very leaning hyperpop tendencies, but it very much is a lot of experimentation, a lot of sound design, and a lot of micro edits. Oh, the rise up, nice. Ooh, we're almost getting like an EDM build up right here, yeah. That is so cool. So many rhythmic sections, so many melodic sections, all put where they need to be in like different areas. Sophie changed the key of the song like 3 times. I hope you guys know that. Like there were like 3 key changes. There were a bunch of BPM changes. Like it got faster towards the end. It actually went in more like EDM drum and bass territory twice, and then back into that slow trap groove. Yeah, there's so much I could say about this. I almost feel like not qualified enough to explain everything that's happening in here. Like I could make my best guess, but I almost just want to leave it be, because I kind of like the magic of just going, that was an incredible noise. Yeah, let's move on, because it's just so, I feel like I just don't like I could sit here and be like, oh yeah, it was this synth and it was this, but almost after listening to that, I'm like, I'm not qualified to tell you how that was made. Like I can guess, like I just mentioned, but it's just so mesmerizing. And I said that about Oil too. A lot of the songs on Oil were just very like, oh, okay, that was a lot, but I am most definitely not the guy to be breaking that down. Move on to track 5. MS. Miss. I have no idea. We're gonna dive into it. Kind of loving that this is more straightforward, but the sound design is still crazy. There's so many like warp textures, sync textures. I'm trying to imagine if I made sounds like this in Serum for a production, they would be so like lots of metal oscillators mixed with analog oscillators just ran through a bunch of squish like compressors, maybe running through some room reverbs and then being reshaped. I got nothing. Oh. Oh, Sophie's doing those blip things we were just talking about when we were listening to Nina Geraci, that the little like fast like kind of like blip. Awesome. Oh. Those noises, I think, if I'm not mistaken, are in like techno roots. Like they're a very like tech sound, because they sound very mechanical, and very futuristic. I want to say they're like rooted in techno. For this bass drop, she brings that melody up in key, so it goes like way up there and it brings the energy up with it. Then we detune it. So for those of you who don't know, when you make sounds in synthesizers, there's an option on most of them to detune whatever oscillators you're working with. What that does is it takes multiple copies of the sound that you're building your synth or your sound with, and it detunes all of them by a bunch of like little micro semitones, right? Like by a bunch of like semitones, if you will. Like, so semitones are like the 12 notes on your keyboard. There's a bunch of tones within those notes. Like, I don't even know how many notes are between like 12 notes on a keyboard, but it's a lot. They're like microtones, okay? And what the detune option does is it brings down or brings up noises in little small increments like that. And what it does is it's supposed to make your sound wider. This is a very tight detune, so it's a very slight, noticeable, but it's a very slight detune. So what it does is it makes it sound off tune on purpose to give a little bit of edge, give a little bit of unease to the sound that's playing right here. Ooh, the rapid snare was great too. Oh, with the rolls. Oh, and now we're going down into these like crazy stretched ambiances that you guys told me about that Sophie likes to do. Okay. Going into more melodic territory. Oh, with the deep bass coming in. Nice. Oh, I love it. Oh, and now we're rising up. Oh, this is so atmospheric, you guys. I'm literally loving the way that the bass and the pads are just like kind of buttering over each other. Oh, it's almost relaxing. I almost don't want the banger to come back because this is nice. Oh, here it comes. That was cool. So we had different variations of that synth come back as this warbly dubstep, just boom, 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 because I'm kind of blomp noise, and like deeper versions of it got hit within those repetitions and those rolls, and then a scream sound effect, which is in the Sophie sample pack that that I have, and I've actually used it in some productions. It's a really cool sound effect to kind of layer and even put under snares, or you can reverse it and have it lead into stuff. Oh, the way that's made just sounds so crunchy, so industrial, so just menacing. Oh, and the lead? There's like a lead synth going to it. Oh, amazing. Sound design, like, yeah. No, that's incredible. I literally, one of you guys told me that she doesn't sample or didn't sample on any of these songs, and I found that so, it's just so inspiring to hear a piece like this and go, wow, that's a lot of hard to make sounds, very like complicated sounds to design, but also just very different sounds. Like you don't hear sounds like that in a lot of music. Banger. This is the most popular song on here, so I hope it slaps. It's called Vyzee.
Shake, shake, shake it up and make it fizz.
Oh, we get some house. Oh, that was a lot of interesting noises kind of going in and out, speeding up, slowing down really fast over like a 9-second area. Ooh. This is Sophie's take on like the typical like kind of deadmau5 house sort of like detuned, heavily detuned. This is more detuned than the thing we heard in the last song. Sort of house pluck synth.
If that's what you wanna do, if that's what you want to make them scream, look at me. It's simple, we'll make it easily. If you need that something but don't know what it is, shake, shake, shake it up and
Those reverse like scream metallic things are really cool.
twist. You've got to twist your body, twirl it all around, make it pop and sizzle. Now squish it on the ground. If you need that something but don't know what it is, shake, shake, shake it up and make it fizz. We can go crazy in the pop, crazy in the pop.
I like how this vocal sounds. I wonder how it's processed because it just feels so like soft compared to some of the vocals I've heard on some of Sophie's music. I'm also really enjoying kind of the more normal energy that this song has. Like it feels like a club track. It feels like it's just heavy drums, like normal kind of dance setting with Sophie's complicated sound design. And you also have these like very interesting blip and like grainy, granular kind of things kind of going in and out too.
Crazy in the pop, if that's
Ooh.
what you wanna do.
Got those hats coming in too.
In the pop, crazy in the pop, crazy in the pop, if that's what you wanna do. If that's what you wanna do.
This is the calm down section. So this is like a when the beat's done dropping and you got like a little like subdued EDM pad. That's kind of what Sophie's emulating here, or at least making. And I'm really liking how sort of like tucked away all the noises are on here.
If that's
Oh,
what
but we still got those horns.
you wanna do.
Oh, back into it.
Squish it in your hand, make it pop, red and white, tomato soup can. If you need that.
What about tomato soup? What? What are the lyrics? I didn't even like bother to look at them. Have you guys looked at the lyrics of this song? Do yourself a favor. I'm not gonna put them up. Do yourself a favor while you're watching this and like have the lyrics up on like Genius or something. What are they? What is being spoken about in these lyrics?
Something, and that's really what you want. Shake, shake, shake it up and make it fizz. You've got to stir that mixture, make it drippy thick, let it drip all over.
Okay.
Now give
I'm gonna make a guess that this song is about soda pop. It's about a can of soda that you're just really excited to drink.
In the pop, crazy in the pop. If that's what you wanna do, it's what you wanna do.
We can jump up, we can get down low, mix it all up, we can go, 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 whatever you want.
Ooh. Okay, so there's a sound I want to talk about. So I'm going to use one of my own songs as a reference. So there's a song of mine that I made like about a year and a half, 2 years ago called Sweet. And it's kind of got a bit of like a dark pop, sort of darker hyper pop kind of energy to it. But before the vocals come in, I have this like synth and it kind of sounds like this. It's just got like this hard, gritty, like pluck kind of quality to it. And when I hear sounds like this, I get really happy because I worked really hard to make that sound that you hear in that song, because I wanted something that felt equally pop as much as it felt EDM, as much as it felt like something maybe in between that could work in both areas, because I was transitioning to doing more vocal driven music. So hearing that big, heavy, like all-consuming kind of pluck in a song like this is really cool. It's actually enlightening because I love that sound to death. I have it favorited and I grab it any chance like I need it for a song that I'm working on. So hearing Sophie use a similar sound is really charming. It's awesome.
Let it drip, drop, go, whatever you need, just tell me and we'll go, 'cause we can stay here, or we can go.
I'm loving what they're doing on this vocal right here. Ooh, that thing was really high pitched. But I'm loving what they're doing on this vocal right here, where it's got like a lot of formant on it, a lot of deep set formant, kind of giving it that gravelly sort of open texture with a lot of distortion, just kind of frying it a little bit, just to give it a lot of texture, give it a lot of grainy substance.
Shake, shake, shake it up and make it fit. That's
Here
what
comes
you
the
wanna
synth.
do. If that's what you wanna do.
Oh.
Be in the pop, crazy in the pop, crazy in the pop. If that's what you wanna do.
Oh. It was cool because it felt like the record was like slowing down, but before that, everything like built up and like stuttered. It went boop, 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 down into the slowdown of it. That was really cool. So that song was silly and it had a lot of like playful energy to it. It just kind of like, just bouncy. It was a vibe. It was a bop. Let's move on to track 7, Love. Okay. Back up. Just everybody back up. If you're in a chair at home, back up. If you're at a computer, just back up from the screen a little bit. I'm sorry. In editing, I'm going to lower the volume of that. With a song name like Love, I was expecting peace, tranquility, self-reflecting atmosphere. I was not expecting that. That caught me by surprise. That was a very loud, rumbly bass with a very stark, distorted, high-pitched synth of sorts. I have no idea what just blasted my ears, but I literally had to be like, okay, all right, I think I'm good now. I'm going to turn the volume down just a little bit. And let's get back to it. Ooh, I'm liking those samples that are spelling out love. L L L L L O O O O O. Those are really cool back there in the back ambience of the track. Okay, the bass has subsided. Now we're in the section of the song that has a lot of saw action, a lot of just kind of buttery synths. Let's see how that builds up. It's still a very dark atmosphere to the song, though. Let's see how it builds. Whew. Whew. My ears, you guys. Sophie, I absolutely love your production and I love your sound design. But this bass is killing me. Very nice. You're just pulling a prank on me now at this point. Okay. All right. Sophie, I'm sorry if I've angered you. Make it stop. Oh my god. Okay. So something funny just happened. It like brought up the next song. It brought up track 8, and I thought the noise was just like still going. And at that point, I was gonna be like, okay, something's wrong with my equipment, and I'm sorry, you guys, but this is gonna have to be postponed. I'm gonna have to do like a part 1. Here are my thoughts on that song. It's probably meant to be an interlude. That was a lot of bass, and the arrangement of the track felt like this. Do you guys ever have dreams where you are experiencing something unpleasant, like you're having a nightmare or you're just something's going on, right? Walking through a door, you open the door and the dream gets worse. And there's like the sleep paralysis demon or a monster looking at you from like a corner of a room somewhere in your dream, okay? So then you start running from the monster to get away from it, and you open another door. And that door leads you to actually a really nice place. And you're like, oh, this is awesome. I'm hoping my dream stays like this. And then next thing you know, you're walking on the sidewalk next to like one of your favorite places in the world. And the vibes are nice. It's a very calm dream. All of a sudden the nightmare is over, at least you think. And then all of a sudden you're falling and you almost wake up in real life. And you're back into the nightmare when you go back to bed. That is how that song felt. So if that was the intention, awesome. But that was a lot of sputtering, glitch, bass, and the whiny noise. It would have probably felt better on my ears if the whiny noise wasn't there, but that was definitely an experience, and that's how it made me feel. So if any of you share a similar sentiment, feel free to share your comments below. Track 8, UNISIL. Ooh, we get some acid techno noises back there. I approve. Or acid house. Ooh. This is really cool sound design. You have sounds that are more full, those like warbly synths, and then you have sounds that are more just crushed, bit crushed, distorted, hard compressed, and then back into the really pleasant sounding songs. I like in my mind's eye and like my imagination, I was like, it'd be really cool if there was like a clap or like a big thing in the middle of this big beat break. And Sophie like listened to me and just went, boom, you get a like banger clap like right in the middle of this whole thing. Oh. Oh. Okay. Oh, I'm loving the dynamic between these saw synths and the little garbly like acid ones. It's just so, it's like a symphony. Oh. I added this song to my gym playlist so fast. Like the pulse, the energy, the big sounds just led me like right into like workout mode. I literally was like, oh, this shows off her sound design without it getting a little too like show offy. It's literally like the perfect amount of like flex. And it also has very nice bass tendencies, very nice electronic tendencies, experimental, avant-garde, whatever you want to call it. This is like a really nice fusion of all that. Really kind of gets the point across a lot quicker than some of the other songs. Let's move on to track 9, shall we? Get Higher.
Let your body get higher. Let your body get higher. Let your body get higher.
Yeah.
Oh, the mixture of those vocals are really funny. Like with the like kind of chant, like power vocal.
Let your body get higher. Let your body get higher.
Here we go.
When I'm feeling
Ooh,
and deep down in
nice.
despair, call a friend of mine up and try somewhere I can feel free with no constraints. Somewhere I can be me with all my
All right.
Let your body get higher.
Yeah.
Let your body get higher.
Sophie really likes the surprise because there's a lot of just really cool synths in that mix. There's a lot of really candy pop ones. There's a lot of hyper pop ones. There's a lot of ones that sound analog and a lot of them that sound more digital, more modern. It's a really nice mix of like probably 10 different synths in that little area right there.
Your body get higher.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh.
Let your body get higher.
Higher.
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 Let your body get higher.
What I'm liking about this, and I was going to kind of save this thought. I had this thought a couple songs ago, but I was going to save it till after I was done with the album. But I'm just going to tell you guys right now, this album feels more like a beat tape to me, not in a bad way. It actually, I mean that in a really good way. So, like this doesn't feel as much like an album, because to me an album is a song, or is a collection of like songs, like with like verse, chorus, blah 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 blah, whatever you want to call it. Even in EDM that uses a little more unconventional song arrangements, you know, there's albums, there's EDM albums out there. It's not a really album friendly genre, but there are albums. But this really reminds me of beat tapes in a way where a beat maker will kind of use like 12 song slots to really try their hand at a bunch of different production techniques to really kind of create essentially an album, right? But beat tapes are meant to feel a little more experimental, a little more to the point. This, in comparison to Oil to me was like an album because it felt like it had a bit of a deeper sort of narrative to it a little bit. This to me, and probably because it is posthumous, probably because it is a compilation of some of Sophie's final works or some of her things that she made before her passing. But this feels to me like a beat tape in a way. It feels like a Sophie making a collection of beats for other people to use elements of, or to DJ with, or to use for like certain production settings. It feels like a collection of beats that Sophie made. So I mean that in like the best way possible, that this feels like a just nice collection of very dance, hip hop, avant-garde inspired like beats. Oh,
Let's go.
I really love those
One more
songs.
time.
Oh. I love these like random vocal samples that are just being thrown around back there. This is a really good banger right here, you guys.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really enjoying just how much effort Sophie put into that and how much like pop versatility it had in comparison to the rest of the album. But it also had a lot of what's the word, like bounce to it. It felt like it still had the bounce that songs like Hard, MSMS had, even Vyzee. Like this feels like a very club heavy album, very banger friendly, full of them actually. And it still keeps the experimentation on high. Let's move on to track 10, shall we? Ooh.
Am I your lover when you fantasize, or just another educated eye undercover?
Why does this melody feel familiar? It feels very familiar.
Bodies intertwined. Is it my body that you're balling, or my dress design? If you step up, would I care? Ooh, tell me, baby, could you take me there? I need a champion, a rook for one night. I don't need another queen in my life. Ooh, tell me, baby, make up your mind, because I think
Okay. So I'm loving the sort of boom ba boom thing that's happening with the bass. The synths going over it and around it, not too extra. They're giving the vocals a lot of space in the mix. But then another thing, do you hear those reverse like fast attack synths gliding up with the current bass? You'll hear it in a second.
all the time.
You hear that?
You know you've only got one night to shine, so
They're in the back. They're very electro house. Like they feel like something straight out of electro music. It's just like wow, wow, wow. They're kind of just like winding up back there.
tell me, baby, make up your mind. I said, ooh, tell me, baby, make up your mind, because I think about you all the time. You know you've only got one night to shine, so ooh, tell me, baby, make up your mind. Ooh, tell me, baby, tell me, baby, tell me.
There they are. They're kind of like driving up with those melodies and with the new riser going into the next part.
In this darkness,
Oh,
piercing laser beams gyrating by.
I'm telling you guys, Sophie waits to use like full beats and big like beat work for the very important moments in her songs.
Pumping late streams, I get so lonely. Life in magazines,
Oh.
I'm your play-doh, baby, push me to my knees. Grab me, drag me, do it back me in my life. Ooh, tell me, baby, make up your
I heard like a woo woo kind of like dubstep noise in the background right there, but I'm loving this like big pop-centric EDM anthem sort of thing that's happening here leading us into the last track. I wonder what the last track's going to sound like.
because I think about you all the time. You know, yes, I think about you all the time. You know you've only got one night to shine, so tell me, baby, tell me, baby, tell me, baby.
I love those chops because you're making the ooh feel a bit more like it's the hook of the song. Like it's like the main lyric that we're going to be focusing on instead of the rest of the chorus. It's feeling like the more important part of it. There's more emphasis put into it.
Baby, tell me, baby, tell me, baby, tell me, baby.
Beat slow down into the last song. Okay. Oh, it's rising up. What is it?
We were young and out of control. I hadn't seen you since I was about 16 years old.
Ooh, I love that. Whoever did this vocal hook or whoever manipulated it to sound like this, that is so cool. I love the like dun 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 dun. Like the way that top line was written was so cool. Just that those little quick stutters and rhythm add a lot of energy to even quiet moments like this in songs. Oh,
Then you called me up the other day. I was shocked, but what could I say? And your voice exactly the same. And it makes me feel, oh, just like we never said goodbye.
oh.
When you spoke to me that way. Oh, just like we never said goodbye. And it makes me feel. We went out
next day. You still remember my favorite place. And we laughed just like we used to, and did everything we like to do. And now we're holding hands and running, and it makes me feel, oh, just like we never said goodbye. When you looked at me that way, oh, just like we never said goodbye. And it makes me feel, oh, just like we never said goodbye. When you held my hand that way, oh, just like we never said goodbye. And it makes me feel, we were young. We had
I don't even like, I'm sorry I'm pausing right now, but I don't even want to like stop to say what's happening. I love it. I adore it. I love the synth pop elements. I love the emotional vocal performances, even if they're sped up, even if they're pitch modulated, it doesn't matter. Like it sounds so cool, so different, so awesome, so Sophie.
everything we wanted, running wild through the night. We were young. We had everything we needed, and sitting down here with me, I got everything I could ever need, and it makes me feel, and it makes me feel, and it makes me feel, oh, just like we never said goodbye. When you held my hand that way, oh, just like we never said goodbye. And it makes me feel, still got that glint in your eye, like you did the very first time. Oh, it's like we never said goodbye. And it makes me feel, like everything I could ever need. And it makes me feel, like I don't ever want to say goodbye.
That was really cool. I loved especially at the end right there when the vocals ramped up and it had like this huge like energy to it. Like it just rapidly just went, don't want to feel, dun, 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 and built up rhythmically towards that epic last drop, last climax of the song. I loved that. This album had a lot of really cool songs on here. Again, I mean, it's just solid music. This felt more like a beat tape in a good way. Like it felt more like a, like I could show this to people and be like, hey, like, what do you think about this? These are great. Not that I couldn't with Oil, but Oil felt a bit more experimental in that sense. This felt a bit more like a product, if you will. It felt a bit more like Sophie packaging her various sounds and various ideas into things that were a bit easier to consume. Not in a bad way, but it felt a bit more accessible. Like I could show this to my other friends who make beats and my other friends who produce and compose and be like, hey, like I just listened to this album. What do you think? I've been open to showing people songs like Face Shopping and Ponyboy and stuff like that. But when it comes to like more like songwriting tendencies and like arrangement techniques, this I think has a bit more of that on there if that's more your thing. I mean, some of these songs still have that legendary touch that her production has. Again, I feel like this is a sound that I feel like even if you tried to emulate it, she just had such a good grip on it. It's so hard to like try to top it or try to like make something that's on par with it because it's its own lane. And I even said that after we listened to Oil. Sophie's music just has a very interesting cross between emotional, a little bit of humor, like a little bit of like fun, like playful stuff, and a huge banger bass heavy experimentation. Like she really is like a cornerstone of that, especially now that I've had more time for Oil to sit with me. So I want to thank you guys for recommending this piece of work to me. I'm sorry it took me so long to make a video on it. There was just other music I wanted to listen to, but thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for giving me more stuff for my production arsenal and for kind of helping me go out of my comfort zone and listen to some other stuff. It's given me actually more chops when it comes to making things for myself or making things for clients. Like I've actually found myself going, oh, let me borrow this riff from Face Shopping and like do a little couple unique things to it. So I've literally found myself sort of expanding my palette because of you guys and because of these albums that you guys have recommended to me. So with that being said, If there's anything else you guys want me to check out, please feel free to recommend me things in the comments. It might take me a while to get to it, but I'm here for the long haul. You guys seem to like this content, so I'm going to keep making it. And feel free to connect on social media. Feel free to connect in the comments. I want to hear conversations. What did you guys think about this album? What do you guys think of Sophie's music in general? We had a big conversation about it on the other video, but let's keep it rolling. Thank you guys so much for your time. I'm going to get off here and go take care of some business, but I appreciate your guys' time, and I'll see you in the next upload.